You're listening to Season 3 of Kinwomen ALOUD, where we talk about the things that matter most, the honest moments, the messy ones, and everything in between. We're so glad you're here. Let's tune in today for today's episode.
Welcome to Kinwomen ALOUD, a podcast for women, by women. Excited to be here. My name is Penny, and I'm joined again today by Rose Parker and Amanda Viviers.
Hello.
And let me just say this. We are continuing the conversation on the midlife body. And if you have not listened to the previous episode, you must, because that will give you context of our stories of perimenopause, menopause, post-menopause. And we really did talk about understanding that season of life. So I thought it was great. But today really leverages off that one. So midlife brings lots of changes, some expected, some surprising. But I think the point here is it's about honouring our bodies, accepting the transformations, and sometimes there are full-on transformations. But, you know, it's good. It's about intention. It's about paying attention. It's about looking after our body. And I love that quote by Gloria Steinemann, who said this: each individual woman's body demands to be accepted on its own terms.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
I love that. I love that. But you know what we're going to do first of all? We're going to do a check-in, because we always do a check-in. Mm-hmm. And our check-in, it's got a garment theme again. And this is my question to you, is what is something old, like a garment or something old? It could be shoes, because Rose, I do know you love your shoes. Something old that you just can't throw away. Okay. And why? Why? Rose.
Oh, I have collections. I've loved op shopping all my life, and I love finding garments with beautiful fabric like what you would never ever buy today. So I have a full collection of 1970s patio frocks. And they are divine.
Gorgeous.
I've worn many of them, and what I have found is that when any of my friends have a dress-up party, guess where they come to?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I love 50s style frocks.
Bring back patio parties
Oh,
with
yeah,
cocktails.
patio. Yeah. I have 70s patio frocks and also 50s garments as well. So
right.
I have an entire wardrobe full of them.
Well, an extra wardrobe. It's in your spare room, isn't it, Rose?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Along with the fairy wings and the cowboy outfits. Oh, yeah.
That's
Anyway.
so good. Okay, I'll tell mine. So I've got some really nice garments still from the 80s where I was spending some money. You know, it's like I was
Back
working.
when you were stock trading.
When I was in stockbroking, when I had a bit more money and I was hot, basically. And I could fit into a size 10.
Shoulder pads and a nipped-in waist.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
I didn't know where nipped in was
But well,
going.
the good thing, everything was big then. So like big shoulders
Yeah.
and everything else. So I can even still fit into those jackets because they were big and oversized, even though I'm no longer a size 10. Anyway, that's beside the point. But the one thing I love, which is a jacket that my dad had, and he was going to chuck it out, and it was from the 1970s. And it's like a linen crimpline but striped, gorgeous colours in it, and I love it. Great big lapels, and it's sat in my wardrobe for so many years now. And I hardly bring it out, but I've just brought it out again.
Oh, you were
To wear
wearing it today.
Yeah.
I loved
I
it.
just-
yeah.
I
Was
love
that
it.
your jacket?
Yeah.
Dad's
Oh.
jacket.
Yeah.
I wondered where that came from.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hadn't seen that before.
Yeah. So there's some things, and I think it's okay that, you know, just because you don't wear it for a few years, you should chuck it out. I go, really? Sometimes it's just good it's beautiful and it has a story, and it's okay to keep it. That's what I think.
Yep.
Anyway, what about you, Mans?
I have some regrets of things that I've thrown away.
Yes, see?
Sorry to say that, but
Are you a
honestly,
throwaway
I
girl?
can't really think. We've moved house a bit, and I've actually always, until now, lived in very small houses. So we've had a very small wardrobe. Like having a small footprint was really important to me. So I do throw away stuff, but I have had a few little regrets from the throwaways. But I had something happen yesterday, which is actually hilarious. You ready for it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so used to live in a little house that had wardrobes because there weren't built-ins because it was a 1950s house.
Oh, yes.
And so we need
Standalone wardrobes.
Yeah, so we need to get rid of those wardrobes. They're done all over Red Rover. So my husband and I are unpacking just the final bits that were
Where
left
are they
in
in
the
the garage
wardrobe. They're
right
in
now?
the garage,
Okay.
right? So unpacking them yesterday, we found a bottom drawer. And in the bottom drawer,
Oh, gosh.
before I got married, I didn't get married until I was later, right? So one little thing I used to do
When
was
you say later, what is later?
35.
Yeah, but see, that's almost normal.
Anyway, that's not part of the story. It's
Okay.
fine. I collected lingerie because I thought that is a beautiful
This
way
is
of
your
kind of,
bottom drawer.
it's the glory box, right? So I collected lingerie. And my husband was like, what the heck is this? And I was just like, yeah, let's chuck it in the bin.
Man, no.
So a whole collection of beautiful lingerie, let's be honest, pretty much never worn, and it's all gone in the bin. So I feel really sorry for the garbage man if anyone opens up the bag because it's like beautiful.
Oh,
but
my gosh.
I just looked at my husband and I'm like, best to go in the bin, hey? He's like, sure.
Oh, listen, talk about collecting lingerie for your marriage. It suddenly brought up a story that I have
come on,
because that
let's
was
go.
what we did. You actually collected things, everything from tablecloths through to lingerie.
Do you really want me to contribute to this
Yes,
conversation?
come on.
We've got a few minutes. Anyway, so the year before I got married, I got given these gifts, and one of them was this 90. And I thought, oh, this has obviously got to go in my bottom drawer for my marriage, kind of thing. And it was this pink kind of like Barbie under the under the chest, and then full
I don't know
drop.
if you can see the video
Pink,
right now. It's lovely.
Pink and big, like it was quite long. Anyway, so I thought I'll try it on. So I tried it on and I walked out into the room. And my younger brother was there and my mum was there. And I said, oh, look at this. It's a bit different. It's not my style. I remember saying that. And my younger brother, who at the time would have probably been 14, says to me, it's see-through. And my mum goes, that's the point.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, Rose.
Well, I love lingerie and I have a complete collection. And you've just got to transition with your changing body, girl. And do you know who I buy lingerie for? Myself.
Me. Absolutely.
Correct.
Beautiful.
This was
Okay.
not planned and it could go anywhere. Get ready, Penny. Pull us back in.
This is our check-in. Stay with us. We do get sensible.
No.
Never.
Welcome back. We are talking about our midlife bodies, and again, I just want to say, if you haven't listened to the previous episode, you must, because it really gives context to this. Because we're talking about our beautiful, changing midlife bodies, and being intentional to honour our bodies and understand and look after them. And so we've shared our stories, and now really, I think we just want to start talking about. When we were travelling through perimenopause, menopause, post-menopause, where did we seek advice? Where did we go? What did you do, Rose?
I went straight to my doctor. So I have
At what point, though?
when I wasn't sleeping.
Okay.
When I was waking up at 3 o'clock every morning and not functioning very well with my loss of sleep, feeling like a young mother with a newborn again. Remember how we know what sleep deprivation does to us. And I just was so exhausted, and then my body's aching. And, so I was told that, I was still in that peri stage, and then that once my cycle stopped, I could start HRT. And I said, oh, but doesn't HRT increase your risk of cancer? And she said, no, go and look at these studies. And she sent me to the Gene Sales website out of England. But we had a conversation for a year because I had heard, there was a study, that one of the first studies on HRT, which was almost 30 years ago now, did show an increase in breast cancer because it was all estrogen-based therapy. Today, that is a very, very different, the options that are given to women. So she explained all of that to me, and sent me on my own journey of discovery to inform myself about that. And and then she said, I was telling her my symptoms, and she said, Rose, you're a great candidate for HRT. You exercise, you're in good health, you've got no risk factors, because I will say there is no cancer in my family. So if you do have a family history, there's a different conversation to be had, but I didn't, so that box was ticked. And then I said, how will it make me feel better? She said, your joint pain will stop, and your boobs will feel sexy in 3 days. I went, give me that stuff now. She said, that's it. Do you remember how your body changes in different parts of your cycle, you know?
Yeah.
That's what my GP said. She said, your breasts will feel sexy again in 3 days. I said, give it to me. And I went back to her. I said, all good. Thank you. Rock and roll. Yeah. So that was my journey, and I have been on it ever since. I started with patches. Then after a year, I developed an allergy to the glue. So that went, and I use a progesterone tablet and an estrogen gel every day, and I don't fuss with it, and I'm never going off it, ever.
And they say you don't have to now.
Correct.
That's right. So,
collagen.
And I guess the point here is it's really important for our listeners to know we are not experts here. We are sharing our stories of our interactions with specialists. And the point is every person's unique. You must go to your own, and I would say a women's health specialist. That's what I would say, not just any.
I would absolutely agree, and I did.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard a story yesterday from a client. Their sister on her perimenopause journey had gone to a male doctor. I'm not saying I'm not being derisive towards male doctors, but she went to a doctor that's just discounted her symptoms completely and sent her away. Don't settle for that, women. Find an informed health practitioner who is an expert in this part of the medical field.
Yeah. What about you, Mans?
And I think it comes back to relationship, It's like actually in vulnerable places that we need to find connections that work for ours. And sometimes you can have that same experience with a female doctor.
Absolutely.
And so I had a female doctor that I had a similar experience to, where I felt really shut down, went to a new one and have had an amazing journey. And I'm actually going to link some of her resources below in our resource section. Her name is Dr. Purity. She lives in Harvey, Western Australia. But every day she puts up resources for women who are going through a season of perimenopause and menopause. And she is very exercise-based, is a really important part of her recommendations. Food, exercise, body, like it's a very integrated approach. And I've learnt so much from her.
Yeah, and I think the point here is make sure that you feel you're being heard by your doctor, specialist, because that's the point here, is that you feel like you're being heard. And if you don't feel like you're being heard and feeling trusted in that relationship, then go to someone else and seek someone who will understand.
And I think part of my story is I've had some really difficult seasons of a relationship with my own body. And so I've come and gone from that. So as a teenager, I had an eating disorder, which was a really significant period of time. Had my ovary and fallopian tube removed when I was younger. And so some really difficult parts of that. Got pregnant later, had a baby very close to my 40s. And so there were different components of that where I haven't really listened to my body well. So the greatest lesson that I have in this season of perimenopause is I'm teaching myself to listen to what I need and what my body needs to live healthily.
And I think that's good.
That's so
good. Rose, what would you say about that?
Oh, I'm just loving hearing you say that, Amanda. You know, it's honouring your body, and it will serve you so well, you know, going into that season. For me, I've always exercised. Well, actually, not always. I started exercising at 36. I joined a gym. I hadn't made time for it prior to that. So now I've been training with weights for 25 years and that I did not realise, but now I can look back and go, that has been one of the biggest gifts I've given myself. And certainly the research shows that lifting weights is just one of the most powerful, important things that we can do.
And there's a lot more research around bone density, and as we get older, and I'm watching my aunties actually, my relational aunties, really step into that season of their 80s, and their bone strength is a really key part of that.
Stanford, have got a phenomenal website on menopause and are researching it. So that's at the Stanford. We'll put that website resource in our resource kit too. They also do a great podcast and also have a great Instagram. But they are researching weight-bearing exercise for perimenopause. So it's like start now. And I was telling Penny, I saw on my Instagram feed the other day a woman doing weights and a plank for 3 minutes, and she is 100 years old.
Wow.
100 years old, and it was like listening to a 72-year-old speak. And I said to Pen, I just had my little mind blown of what I can expect to be doing at 100.
Wow.
Because I saw it. I saw someone doing it, you know. So
I think one of the really good advice, I remember it very clearly because I had gone to my GP. And she and I had gone in saying, listen, I don't know what's happening, because I'd always squashed my body. I wasn't good at listening to my body. And I said, listen, I'm just feeling vulnerable. I don't know whether it's just life. I've got a big job. I've got challenges with my relationship, my marriage. I remember there was a lot going on, and I'm just feeling incredibly vulnerable. And that's when we started the conversation. And she said this to me, which I'm actually always been a firm believer actually, is what are you doing though regularly to actually make sure that rhythm of sleep, good food, exercise, like we've talked about. She said all of those things are just as important as the HRT patch that I'm going to pop on your on your hip. And she was just saying that's just one element to this whole that you have to consider. So she said, if you've exercised, this is what you love doing. She said, do it, good food. Everything feeds, just like that patch, everything feeds you being well during this period of time.
That's such great advice.
Oh,
and it comes back to eating like great, nutritious meals that really become fuel and create that sense of well-being,
absolutely.
Which you girls do a great job of.
Oh, food for me changes my mood.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Absolutely. And can I recommend a little resource called The Glucose Goddess? She's a scientist, and she talks very specifically about this. So she's not no sugar. She's about how to utilise sugar and what to eat first, and all about maintaining a good glucose level in the bloodstream and not getting the big spikes and the crashes. Revelation. I can't recommend it enough. It's really, really fantastic.
I do think, though, I think also at the same time that there are changes in our body. So about where we store, for me it's changed. So even though I still eat well, I still, work hard in my rhythms to sleep well and exercise, my body shape's changed.
Yeah.
Has yours, Rose?
Yeah, and it does, because when we're no longer producing estrogen, our body tries to store it. And it wants to store the last schedules of it that are existing, and the one place where estrogen is stored is in fat tissue. So that is why traditionally women in later middle age, have thickened a little around the middle. So, it's about accepting that, but also knowing that is happening.
And that's okay.
And that it's okay, absolutely. Change how you dress. I've maintained all my routines of exercise and sleep and food, but about accepting those changes and, as you say, it being absolutely okay and slightly I'm loving jackets. I always have, though.
So what has been helpful and what has been unhelpful, I guess, for navigating this season?
Sure. What's been really helpful for me is taking my partner on the journey. And he's been incredible in really trying to learn more. What also has been helpful is just drinking more water. And
I thought you were going to say wine.
Well, okay.
I actually am drinking less. Not that I drank a lot before.
Good, because there's too much sugar in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really like it makes me feel not great at the moment.
And I think that
there's
can
something
be
that
the
happens.
tendency, you know, when we're going through challenging times like this or change, to numb how we're feeling about ourselves and everything else. And, you know, substances, busyness, that's my go-to.
Something that's really helped me is slow movement. So both Pilates and yoga in my gym have been incredibly helpful. And, just different components of that.
Having a facial, like having a body massage is just it's like I've found that just really like it just brings you back to
yes, like a sense of groundedness. What's not helped, I think, my own overthinking. I think I feel fatigued, and that I'm always quite spontaneous and quite present in the moment and can do things fast. Like, as you can probably hear in the podcast, like so much of what I say is unplanned, lingerie. And but the brain fog has been incredibly tough for me. So what has not helped is having more coffee. So really limiting my coffee to once a day. What's not helped is just grabbing kind of food to try and give myself the energy that I want.
And it's only temporary. That's the thing.
And the glucose spikes, I'm definitely going to go and have a look at that, Rose, to be able to really lean into that. What has not helped?
What about you, Rose?
Yeah, I can't think of any other.
What's helped? What Jane said, doing what she's always done, just slower. Like not letting age limit my perception of what I should and could be doing now. I don't think very much about age. And, you know, when I step on stage with my guitar and do a gig, I'm not thinking about the age I am and that I should be doing this or should be doing that. So
great.
I do what I do because I love it, and I don't see why that should change because I've got a different number attached to it. So mindset has
I think
helped,
mindset
Penny.
is huge.
Mindset. And I didn't even realise I think like that because I do think like that. You know what I mean? You don't know it when you're inside it. So I exercise regularly. I walk every day because I've got the huge dog that looks at me with the biggest, most beautiful brown eyes. So he gets walked for an hour a day. And
we're not talking about Paul right now.
No, my doggy. No, I could go there, but we won't. And that's important too. Making time for that. Intentional times, lovely. And spontaneous time, all good. Eating really well. I've actually worked out I need to eat a little bit more because I used to love the fasting thing.
Right.
But then that would make, because I have low blood pressure and low heart rate and I can get hypoglycemic, I was crashing a bit too much. So I've actually learned I have to have breakfast.
Yeah.
So fasting helped me for 2 years to maintain a good weight. That was I would do the 12 and 8 thing, you know, eat from midday to 8. But I actually have a little bit of brekkie now, and that's been really, really helpful for me to maintain my energy and keep that brain fog at bay. So that's been a little revelation.
It's such a great reflection because I think in an information age, which we're in, we hear what works for someone else. So everyone talks about fasting right now. But it's actually body knowledge, like body intuition of your own body and making the choices that are really integrated across a lot of different things that make a difference. I have one more thing that's really helped me. Like, so I'm not recommending it for you, but if it works for you, fantastic. I take magnesium every night.
Yeah, great.
And magnesium has been a game changer for me in sleep. Huge. And I didn't think it was that big a deal until I don't take it. And then 2 nights later, I'm awake at 3 o'clock again. And so just, you know, almost like a Baraka tablet, but a magnesium tablet, and I take it at night time.
Great.
Huge impact for me.
I think the biggest thing for me is my mind and loving this season and loving who I am the other side of menopause. So I think my attitude and my mind to this actually impacts absolutely everything.
Wow.
So that impacts my words. And, of course, words feed us. That's the other thing. So words support or they don't. Who I hang out with is another one, like hanging out with you girls. You know, you feed me, you know, when we're together. It's like this osmosis of energy and love and care and understanding and listening, you know. So I think, you know, the worst thing you can do when you're going through this time is to isolate yourself.
Yeah.
Is to not continue gathering with people, meeting with people, being engaged, contributing. Like, I just think it's the most unhelpful thing, because it feeds your whole image of who you are and whether you still have a place.
And and that insecurity or something
belonging.
to offer.
Yeah, that's right. So isolation, even though we might feel like we want to do it, is actually not helpful. So I think for me, and my words, what I say about my body during that time. And I remember a very critical time, and I had a teenage girl at the time, and I thought, she's watching how I'm now. And I was quite open, and I was quite open about, you know, the season I was going through. And, you know, we had a pool, and I thought, man, I'm still going to get out there with my bikini.
Absolutely.
And go, oh, this is who I am, Al. Wear your bikini. This is my bikini.
I love it.
You know, in my 50s, that's when I kind of, you know, late 50s, and I just went, this is who I am. You know, you've got to own it.
Go to Italy and you'll see all the women, 60, 70, in their bikinis with their heads back, laughing and talking and drinking life. I went, that's going to be me.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Can I read a quote here? I
Absolutely.
sent you a podcast link this week, Pen. Dr. Ellen Langer, who's a Harvard psychologist, and she's
amazing.
All about the body-mind unity. She doesn't even call it mind-body connection. She said we've actually got to stop thinking about it as two separate things.
Yeah.
So I just want to. She's been featured on the Mel Robbins podcast, and she's also featured on the Midlife Project. But she is a Harvard research scientist.
for decades.
She's now 78. She's been researching this for 50 years. Her research suggests that aging isn't just a biological process, it's also a mindset. How we think about aging or health or ability shapes how we can experience it, and that mindset can shift at any age. And then she recommends things like question assumptions, where people might say, I'm too old for this, or it's all downhill from here, or focus on what you're capable of doing today rather than what's declining.
And who said
what's
you can't?
increasing.
Who said you can't?
Says the 100-year-old lady lifting barbells and planking for 3 minutes.
Who says you shouldn't dress like that? Who said, like, seriously?
Avoid labels that box you in or that other people try to box you in. And stay curious, Penny. That's something you are really good at all the time. Try new things. Look at something familiar in a new way. So I just loved that little comment.
Like keep moving,
Body and mind.
Body and mind. Okay, I'm going to draw this in. So I'm going to pull it right back and go, what is the thing that you most appreciate about your body at this stage?
Feeling strong enough to say yes to the things that make life worth living for me. So, you know, I think I've got 15 gigs in the next 8 weeks.
Wow.
That's pretty fun.
And and plus your work.
Yes,
plus
and my practice.
And being a
your
musician is
practice.
physical.
Oh, it's
as
so
well.
physical. Like
it's not
singing,
just
it's great.
Well, and it's
aerobic.
not just physical, it's the investment, it's the energy output is huge because it's mental.
Memorising everything. It's actually great. I recommend it for everybody.
You're imparting, you know. So it's not just 15 gigs, it's 15 gigs on top of running a house, looking after family, being an occupational therapist, like
doing a podcast. Walking a dog. How fun.
So you're saying the thing that you appreciate about your body is that it can still.
She's strong, she's healthy, she's flexible, and for me, caring for my body is an act of self-nurturing and self-love and kindness. And I've also had seasons, man, where I'm running her ragged, running hard and not looking after her. And I've learnt to really, really care for myself and cherish this body.
Beautiful. Mans.
I feel like I could go a few different ways on this one. So my initial response to your question was the things about myself that I love, and I love my eyes and I love people's eyes. That sense of connection with people is a value I hold dear, and that's why I love this podcast, sitting with you guys. And I recommend that if you haven't looked someone in the eyes and had a conversation in a long time, then do it, because it does something to us. Secondly, I've been reorientating my mindset around the fact that I was able to have children. And so just reminding myself, yes, being pregnant and having kids has changed my body. I am so grateful that I can be a mum. And I know that there's many that it's an incredibly challenging part of their story. And so reminding myself of the beauty of motherhood and birthing and now restoring, and something super practical. So I said I could go either way. This is how my brain works. Super practical. I am being non-negotiable on eating away from my desk.
Great.
So I'm going outside and I'm eating my lunch and I'm being present to my food, because I'm the kind of person that will eat and not be present to it. And that's where you just end up eating things that you don't need or don't want. So
Not thinking whilst you're
That
eating.
is just such a
So
huge
good.
thing. Please, everyone listening, that's just so good. Do not eat at your desk. I can't believe people do that. But
Yeah, I do that.
no, take on some of Miss Amanda's
Yes,
non-negotiable right
Yes.
there. Even if
I'm
it's
terrible
10,
at it. But the last probably month I've been so laser focused on it. Like, so
Go
I
out.
think if I was going to say one thing, just I could look at my body and say that there are 25 things I want to change, but I'm just changing one thing.
That's great.
Okay, the one thing that I appreciate most about my body at this stage of life is knowing that it can still repair itself.
Beautiful.
And what I mean by that is I have been recently to a specialist physiotherapist, a holistic physiotherapist is probably more the right word. And he said to me, and I've had really bad bursitis for X number of years. I mean, too many years.
Is that in your hips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both sides. Well, and I've had lots of treatments and everything else. And he gave me knowledge. And then he said, Penny, you have to do X, Y, Z. And he said, your body will repair itself. And I've been doing it. And I can tell you, I'm only really early into it and I'm already seeing remarkable. And most of it was about knowledge and then me going, yes, my body can repair itself.
It's like long commitment to ritual and change.
That's
like
right, because, he says what happens is we start getting pains as we get older and we think, oh, well, that's just because I'm getting older. And then you've got to, and it's like you settle into it. And he goes, no. He goes, why have you stopped bike riding? Well, because, my knee is this. He goes, no. He says, the best thing you can do, don't stop. So anyway, so I just thought, my body is capable of repairing itself. And I think sometimes as we get older, we don't think it can.
So
Amazing.
You got expert knowledge planted with hope.
Yes.
And a change in your mindset.
Yes.
And practical
and
application.
clear guidelines of what
Yes.
to do. So you got
That's
clearly
right.
told what you should do, what you shouldn't be doing.
Yep.
And you're guided
Yep.
in that. Fantastic.
Anyway, so this is our beautiful body, girls. Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it for this season. Perimenopause, menopause, post-menopause, midlife, whatever you want to call it. We have this body. Let's look after it. Let's be intentional about it. Let's pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. Let's say the right things. Let's believe the right things. Let's hope. And let's live well, because we only get one body.
Correct.
And it is beautiful. Perfectly beautiful.
Thanks for tuning into Kinwomen ALOUD, where real conversations connect us to one another. This episode was recorded at Elemental Sound in Perth with studio engineer Mark Ralph and produced by Natalie Kilner at Mindful Marketing Studio. Be sure to follow Kinwomen ALOUD on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and follow our socials for more conversations that matter. Until next time, you are our kin.